Hi, thanks for watching. It's the Lipstick Gal, and I wanted to share with you my favorites for August. It's a little bit more truncated than normal, but somehow I'm sure I'll manage to make this super long. I'm gonna do my best right now. Keep it short. Short. These are all makeup favorites, by the way. All right, I'm just going to start with the first thing that I grab. I have been loving this. This is the Hourglass Veil Setting Powder. I've had it for a couple of months now. I like it a lot. I think what I like most about this powder is that it doesn't really show up in my under eye area, and I love this for setting anything that I put under there, whether it's concealer or what have you. And then also it's so finely milled and it has a very slight radiance to it, not so that you look like you've been out sweating in the hot sun, but just enough so it looks like skin. It doesn't look like dried powder. It looks like skin, and I love that. And I feel like sometimes if I overdo it with the blush or the bronzer, which I have been known to do because I tend to go ham on cheek products, I'll take a little bit of this in a large fluffy brush and I'll just kind of buff over the whole thing, and it's like very forgiving. It brings it all down a notch. It makes it all look more like one thing, and I absolutely love this. All right, another product I have been loving. I'm back to using this constantly. This is the Jouer Adore Blush Duo, and these are the shades. They're really, really pretty. I tend to live more in this shade, and on my finger and maybe in the pan it doesn't look like much, but on the cheeks it's just enough to bring a little bit of life without giving me clown cheeks. And because I do tend to go ham, I do live in that lighter shade, and I think this is a beautiful formula, lasts well, and looks very natural on me. All right, the bronzer in this duo, I could write a love letter to the bronzer in the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow. And I do have it in the shade Light, but this is kind of like the perfect bronze, but not too red toned for my skin tone. A little contoury without being too dark and gray. It does give me the perfect blushy flush, and I love for it. I do also use the highlighter, but I'll tend to top it if I'm looking for something subtle. I'll go just this highlighter in here, but if I tend to want a little bit more glowy glow, I top it with something else. So here's what I've been topping it with. I didn't really think this was going to be that much of a standout product for me, and I've switched the shade that I use because it's a palette. This is the, what was it, the Glamglow Glow Powder is what they're calling it. Here are those colors. I thought that this was going to be the shade for me since I am so pale. I have been living in this center shade here. It's the most beautiful gold. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today, slightly up here on the bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, chin, and even a little bit here in the center. Of course, I drenched my face in setting spray, but this glow, you know, all of them are really beautiful, but I have found that if you look at it, there's a lot less of the press from the pan in there. All three of them are really beautiful. So this is the pale center, this is this guy, this is this guy, and this is this guy. I do use the darker shade since it's not appropriate for my skin tone. I use it as eyeshadow or inner corner highlight, and it's gorgeous. They all work really well that way. What I didn't expect, I thought this was going to be more like a pearly white, like maybe Ofra's Glazed Donut, or closer to Pearl from Becca. This has a pink shift to it, a very, very slight peachy pink shift. And there are days that I don't want to wear a duochrome, so I just go for the gold in the middle, and I've been living my best glowy life. I love this. I'm surprised at how much I like this because they're not really innovative colors. The formula, though, it has hyaluronic acid in it, and I'll tell you, for somebody who's in their 40s and who still highlights here, which is very close to my crow's feet, I find that if I put this on and then spray a good layer of setting spray over, it really doesn't ever look like powder. It never accentuates my lines. I think that this formula is fantastic, and it also smells really good. All right, from there, this totally surprised me because I am more of your neutrals person, and I know there are neutrals in this, but I've been loving the Norvina palette, and I didn't think I was going to get it because I'm not somebody who goes for purple. I'm just going to drop the brush out so we don't have to deal with it falling out later. I really didn't think I was gonna be, because, you know, these are more plummy tones and there's this color here. I'm not wearing it today, but today is like the exception. On days that I wear eyeshadow, it's almost always this. And I think I have already used this more than I used the Modern Renaissance. And I've had that for a couple of years now, and I never reach for it. And maybe I'm more intimidated by those more red and rusty tones in the Modern Renaissance, but everything in here, and especially all of these shimmers up here, they call my name. I love this palette. And this is a formula where if you go too heavy in with a brush on the matte, you're gonna get some fallout. You will have to tap off your brush. I just go really lightly and build. And I take my time, and I don't wear eyeshadow every day, but on the days that I do wear it, I really have been loving that. Okay, let's talk about a couple. Okay, this is one I love. This is the new Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I used this recently in a Get Ready With Me a couple weeks ago. Problem I had is I got the wrong color. I ordered it on the Sephora website and it sent me the wrong color. So I picked this up in Ulta. This is the shade Snow. There is one shade lighter than this, and I think that maybe come like November, I might need to switch to that shade, because this right now, this does have a very much of a golden undertone to it. And it may just look super pale to you because we may not be close to the same skin tone, but I find that on my face, it's on the verge of being a little too yellow. I wish there was more neutral, but it works for me now. And I know the minute I'm trying to wipe my hand off down here, that's why I'm looking down. The minute that my skin like is not in the sun as much, and I wear SPF 50 every day. I reapply throughout the day with like a powder. I mean, I do my best, but there will be times that my skin will get a hair darker during the warmer summer months when there is more sun exposure, when there are more outdoor activities. But I love the fact that my under eyes look less dry with this. And at 43, that's what I'm looking for. Something that's not going to make it too dry, and then something that's also not going to make it too dry. So this together has been great. I'm not saying that I have the best under eyes. I'm not saying that I use enough to really hide all of my really extreme darkness, but just enough to not look like a zombie. That's what I'll say. But this has been great. And I'm not wearing any foundation today. The only thing I am wearing is this, and then a layer of this. So this under the eyes, corners of the nose. I have a little bit of discoloration here. And then on a hyperpigmentation spot that's been getting a lot lighter, and I'm so happy about that. And then I put this everywhere, and then I buff it over the top of whatever face products I'm using, and all the ones I've been talking about today are the ones that I use today. I just can't stop reaching for these things. Okay, from there, let's talk this. This is from Colourpop. This is the On the Cusp highlight. It's from Kathleen Light's recent collaboration. You can see, I mean, I've been going to town on this. I have been using this on my face, but sometimes I don't even like, today I have it on my eyes. And I like using this on my eyes because this is just like, for my summer color right now, this shade will work. But that's clanging too much, I'm sorry. But give me like another 4 to 6 weeks and this will be too dark for like to wear on my face. But I think that this highlight here, and it's so pretty and it's so glowy and it's just so blinding and beautiful. I love it on the eyes. It's really, really pretty, and I love the formula. So I've been using this quite a bit. Another product from that, what was it? Her collab, Kathleen Light's collab, is this lipstick. It's one that I'm wearing right now. This is called What's Your Sign? It's the Luxe Lip, but it's the cream formula. I like the matte formula. I really prefer the cream formula, and I think it's really great. And this shade is a really beautiful kind of pinky nude. I would say it leans more pink than peach, even though it may not be reading that right here, but it works really well for me. Peachy nudes are not my preference on my skin tone. I love this lipstick and have been using it quite a bit. Other lip products, I have been using an old favorite that I've had forever. This is from Clinique. This is their Chubby Stick Intense in Curviest Caramel. And it's like, there's very little of it left. It's down to a nubbin. It's another pinky nude. It's definitely more pinky than the other one, but I love the formula. And this is one, even though it's the intense, meaning it has more pigmentation than the regular Chubby sticks, I feel like I can always apply this because there's not a real sharp edge to it. It wears down to like a little nubbin. I can put it on very easily, you know, without a mirror. And it's very hydrating. It's been a long time since I've pulled for this. You can tell by the cap, like it's been through the mill. I love this lipstick. And another one that really surprised me, I have 2 of these and I've been using them constantly. The other one's in my purse and I was like, I'll just leave it in my purse and I'll say, it's in my purse. Are these Revlon? These are called the, what are they? The Kiss Cushion Lip Tint. So they have it's not a very pointed, it's a very blunt tip, but it's a cushion. So you twist it up here, product comes through the sponge. This one here is called, I think this one is Naughty Mauve. That's this right here, Naughty Mauve. And my favorite is called Wine Trip. Wine Trip lives in my purse. This is one that I use at the vanity in the bathroom. I like this one a lot. The formula is something that I really love. And I think you might also see a review of these, but I think this is probably one of my new favorite discoveries at the drugstore. And for so long, I have not been finding and loving drugstore lipsticks. I tend to spend way too much for luxury lipsticks. And recently, affordable lip products have really, the ones I've been reaching for have been so good that I don't care that they're not luxe. And sometimes I wonder, do I love the luxe things because of the packaging? And yes, I do love things for their packaging sometimes, which is stupid. It has to be a good product. But sometimes I feel like the minute it's a really good product and then you put it in that super glamorous packaging, I'm a sucker. I'll use it every single time. And the fact that I'm reaching for more of these things, I love that I'm doing that. The Colourpop is $6, $6.50, and this is like a $9.99, but it's almost always something you can get like a 30% off or a 50% buy one, get one half off, however you want to do it. There's usually drugstore coupons for that. All right, the last things I want to talk about are mascara. Mascara is something, here's my disclaimer. I have short lashes. I have lashes that naturally point down and do not hold curl very well. So I had been hearing people for years absolutely rave about this. And this, of course, is the Essence Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara. Now, it doesn't say that it's waterproof. It doesn't even say that it's water resistant. My eyes, and I don't know if it's a byproduct of all of the problems I've had, 4 brain surgeries, things growing in my head that don't belong there, you know, that maybe that makes my eyes water. I don't know, but my eyes are constantly watering, like corners of my eyes. And so I've given up wearing things like liquid eyeliner. I've given up wearing things like eyeliner in general, unless I'm tight lining. I just don't take the time. And so if I get mascara out here on these outer lashes and then my eye is watering and I start to get a little trail, I can't have that. The other, and so this to me, this was my only flop, and I wanted to love this because it did give me nice, with like 2 layers, a fairly nice, lush look to my lashes. But it didn't hold up for me in the heat and with the eyes that water. If you don't have those problems, you'll probably really, really like this. But this is the only thing that I wanted to love that I couldn't fully ever find myself really reaching for. I'm wearing it today. It's not a favorite. I've already cleaned up the corners of my eyes with like stuff here like 3 times today. And that to me, I want to be able to go out with bulletproof makeup or as close to bulletproof as possible. So this quite didn't make it for me. The 2 that I think are my best 2, and I have a backup of course, and you've heard me talk about it before, is the Monsieur Big from Lancome. This is not even, they have a waterproof one. This is not even their waterproof. This is just their standard regular, and it has a really nice, you know, bristle brush. It's not one of those rubber ones, and I don't mind those. I think it depends on the formula, what works best with the formula, but I love this mascara. I think I'm gonna give this like another 2 weeks and then I'm gonna get a new one or open my new one. And if you didn't already know, Ulta's 21 Days of Beauty, both this and the waterproof are gonna be on sale for half off. It's normally $25, you get it for $12.50. It's on my list because this is my favorite mascara. All right, and the other one that really surprised me, it was a sample that I got from Sephora. This is the new Caution Extreme Lash Mascara from Hourglass. The one thing I don't know is maybe it's just this guy. Oh, look. I see right up here, I don't know if you would be able to see it, that the little thing, the stopper, has come out. So this brush here normally is not quite this full and goopy. It looks more like a tree trunk. I'm going to be honest there. It looks more like a tree trunk. Let me see if that kind of shoved it back in. No, I might have to dig it out with a pair of tweezers. But it looks more like a tree trunk, like a Christmas tree. It's more like a bold conifer. It doesn't normally have this much mascara on it. I'll have to get that stopper out. But what I love about this mascara, I wish it had a longer applicator. Like the brush itself is fine, but I find that I'm really close to my eye like this because it's the deluxe sample. I want to commit to a full size and try. Of course, the full size comes in gold packaging. I can't be trusted with anything these days. Here are my pros about this. Con is crazy expensive, 30 bucks. Pro is that this mascara gives me the longest looking lashes, even more than the Monsieur Big from Lancome. Gives me the longest looking lashes with a decent amount of volume in a single application. Now I'm one of those, I'll take and I'll just go, and it's not, that's when I'll go, like I'll brush it through, and I usually go through like maybe like 15 to 20 times on one side to get an even coating, make sure I don't have any clumps, and that's what I'll do, and then I'll go to the other side. And once this is, you know, starting to set, I'll go again, and if I get 2 layers of this, oh my goodness. I also had an Instagram post that I did several weeks ago. It was 107 degrees, me and my watery eyes. This mascara did not budge. They don't say that it's waterproof. They don't say that it's water resistant. They do say it's not smudging, and they're not lying. Now, I am looking for some volume, mostly length, so I look like I have eyelashes, and this hits all of those marks for me. And I found that when it was a little bit drier after I've been using it for a couple of weeks, I liked it even more. But I have been remarkably surprised. So this is something, since, you know, Sephora always has their, you know, twice a year sale. This is something you may want to think about, or if you ever see that they have like deluxe samples like this, give it a try because it might surprise you as well. It may not be as amazing and fantastic as, you know, some other things, but I like this better than the L'Oreal Lash Paradise that comes in the pink tube that's a dupe for the Better Than Sex mascara from Too Faced. I like it better than the Clump Crusher from, I used to use nothing but drugstore mascaras. I'm starting to get back into more expensive ones. And I'll tell you, if I spend time to make my eyes look good, I want a really good mascara. And this Hourglass one, I'm surprised by that I like it that much. All right, so there we go. Longer than it needed to be. But tell me, what are the favorites that you have been using this month? Have you purchased anything new? If you haven't, what are the things that you always reach for? Those things that you might have had for a long time. I've had this for years, but I just keep grabbing for it because it's it looks good, it makes me feel confident, and that's what I want to know. So let me know your products down below. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.